Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Tuesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight, government says it is not using taxpayer money or taking direct financial risk to fund its 24% equity stake in the Hyphen Green Hydrogen project. Hyphen Hydrogen Energy Chief Executive Marco Raffinetti told Parliament's Standing Committee on Natural Resources that Namibia's share in the multi-billion-dollar project is being financed through grants from international partners, including the Dutch government and the European Union. The government's stake held through the Environmental Investment Fund on behalf of the Sovereign Wealth Fund was not financed through the national budget, Raffinetti said. He said the funding arrangement allows Namibia to participate as an equity partner while limiting the country's financial exposure during the project's development phase. The briefing comes amid concerns from Parliament over the pace of progress on Namibia's flagship green hydrogen project. Committee Chairperson Toby Alpindi said there appears to be growing concern over delays, stressing that the project's success is important for Namibia's economic ambitions. Alpindi also raised concerns about local participation, saying Namibians, especially previously disadvantaged and black-owned businesses, must be meaningfully included in the project's supply chain. He said Parliament will continue engaging with project developers to ensure Namibia gains broad economic benefits from the emerging green hydrogen industry. In our next story, former Econolux bookkeeper Amanda Yankees, 58, was sentenced to 18 years imprisonment this week, while her husband and co-accused Barnard Yankees, 60, was sentenced to 14 years by High Court Judge Eileen Rocco for defrauding the transport company of approximately 9.98 million Namibian dollars. The fraud was committed between January 2014 and November 2018. Yankees reportedly abused her position of trust by making unauthorized payments from Econolux's bank account into her own account, her husband's account, and the couple's company, Barelli Building Services. The transactions were disguised as legitimate payments to Econolux's clients and suppliers, enabling the scheme to go undetected for several years. Now, the Ministry of Health and Social Services paid more than 1.28 million Namibian dollars to settle 6 lawsuits during the 2024-2025 financial year. Health Minister Dr. Esperance Luvendao told Parliament that the payments totaling 1,286,051 Namibian dollars were made in compensation settlements. Luvendao said the ministry is working to reduce legal claims by addressing the causes behind the medical-related disputes, including strengthening healthcare systems, improving clinical practices, and communication with patients. She said all complaints received at health facilities are recorded and investigated, with patients able to escalate unresolved matters through the Health Ministry's chain of command. The ministry has also strengthened maternal and perinatal death reviews, introduced updated clinical and death audit guidelines, and continues to improve patient safety and clinical governance. Luvendao said where failures are identified, corrective measures are implemented and monitored. She added that the ministry is also working to improve healthcare quality standards, facility accreditation, complaints management, procurement of essential medicines and equipment, as well as staff mentorship programs. Luvendao cautioned that media reports do not always reflect the full clinical or investigative details behind individual cases. And now, closing off our top stories, nearly 1,300 households across 12 informal settlements in Windhoek are set to be connected to the electricity grid as the city of Windhoek continues with its electrification program in underserved areas. The project will provide electricity access to 1,298 households in the Tobias Hanyeko Windhoek Rural, Moses Garweb, and Commersdal constituencies. Among the biggest beneficiaries are Mix Extension 1 and Ochumwese Extension 6 and 7. The city says the program is aimed at improving living conditions, providing safer homes, and creating new opportunities through access to reliable electricity. The electrification drive forms part of efforts to extend basic services to residents living in informal settlements across the capital. That brings us to the end of our top stories segment. Right after the break, we bring you our community talk segment.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
From the heart of the continent to its farthest horizons, Africa awakens with stories that shape our world. This is Africa Good Morning, your window into the pulse of a dynamic continent. I'm Ashwin Berry, here to deliver the latest news, sharp insights, and the vibrant spirit of Africa. Every weekday, we dive into the headlines, uncover untold stories, and spotlight the people driving change. Plus, stay ahead with daily weather forecasts and economic updates to navigate your week with confidence. With direct coverage from our correspondents on the ground, we bring you in-depth access to Africa's beating heart. Mondays, Mike Situla reports from Zambia. Africa Good Morning. Tuesdays, Talent Gore covers Zimbabwe. Wednesdays, Rorisang Mohojwe brings Botswana's news. Dumela, Rorisang.
Thank you very much, Ashwin, for having me right here on Africa Good Morning. It is always a pleasure to be here with you all.
Thursdays, Ari Hogarth tackles South Africa.
Yes, very good morning, Ashwin and Aina. Yes, a good atmosphere.
And Fridays, we focus on Namibia's bold narratives. From thriving cities to rugged plains, our team is there, capturing the rhythm of a continent on the rise. Africa Good Morning is your essential start. News, weather, economics, and more.
Tonight in our Community Talk segment, Swiss-based non-profit organisation MMF Switzerland has donated 13 laptops to Maria Mungere Secondary School in Rundu Rural Constituency to support computer studies, laboratory digital literacy and ICT integrated learning. Speaking at the handover ceremony, MMF Switzerland chairperson and Swiss primary school teacher Carolyn Drischel said the laptops are more than just machines, describing them as 13 doors to knowledge, creativity, communication, and future opportunities for learners. Let's take a look.
In different ways. Buying them school clothes, paying for school fees, that kind of things. But that is all kind of cosmetic. It makes you look better, makes you feel better, but it doesn't get you through school. So, what is the next step? English? As some of you were struggling with the Afrikaans names, that is actually an Irish surname, not an Afrikaans surname, papers. But it is how it is. We are teaching small children, and we also, in total, it's about 200 children that's involved in our program, all from this area. If you talk like something simple, in school, when you start out with school, you have shapes and things. Like, for instance, a heart, you call it nchima. Nchima is something that has a different meaning to you. than the shape of a heart. Most of other people, when you draw a shape of a heart, they'll tell you it's love, things like that. That's how we think. According to clever people, they say a child in his first 7 years is where you form his character. And that character is something that he will carry through the rest of his life. And it's quite apparent if you see the applause that these guys get now here for dancing. So it is something that is there. The culture is different, the things are different, but still it's school. And school is something that you need to pass. If you don't pass, a lot of you stay behind. You stay in the community, and it's all that you have is the cultural things. And that is not what it's meant to be. If I shoot from the hip, there's 1,067 children in the school. So it means it's a personnel of about 50 if you take the good ratio. So if you look at it as a business, it's about $500,000 a month that is invested in you as children in the school. And that's apart from buildings and all this infrastructure that is here. But if I look here, I know a lot of you, but if I look around here, I struggle to identify you. Where are you? And that is also how it is. When you are out of school, that is how you're going to disappear into the rest of the country and the rest of what's going on. Now you are together, but your purpose should not be this togetherness and things. It should be your school, to perform, to get somewhere, to be somebody. And that takes a lot of hard work. I want to just, if you allow me a little bit, somebody that went through the school, a remarkable person. It's a woman.
RX Properties Limited CEO Ben Euster and NUS Deputy Vice Chancellor Teaching and Learning Teresia Kaulihoa signed a Memorandum of Understanding during the RX Graduation Camp Bursary Program celebration at Marua Rooftop in Windhoek on Tuesday, the 14th of July, 2026. The agreement aims to strengthen collaboration between academia and industry by expanding opportunities for bursaries, internships, and graduate development, helping equip students with the skills and experience needed for the workforce.
Today, we are here to celebrate not only the achievements of the graduates or the bursary recipients, but also the beginning of a strategic partnership that is between NUST, the Namibia University of Science and Technology, and the RX Properties Limited, which is quite significant. As a university, our great contribution to the society is not only to produce knowledge, but the people it prepares to apply the knowledge in a way that improves the lives, strengthen industries, and advance society. And today's event is really a clear testimony of that. That transformation is realized when learning extends beyond the classrooms and enriched through meaningful engagements with the industry. It's through partnerships such as this that the knowledge finds purpose, innovation delivers impact, and graduates develop into professionals who help to shape the future of our nation. The Memorandum of Understanding that we will sign today represents far more than a formal agreement. It reflects a shared vision to develop graduates who are competent, ethical, and prepared to contribute to Namibia's economic and social development agenda. As a Namibia leading University of Science and Technology NUST, we are committed to producing graduates who are not only academically accomplished, but also workplace ready. Achieving this requires a strong partnership with the industry. RX Properties Limited brings a wealth of expertise across property development, finance, asset management, and corporate governance that provide our students with invaluable opportunities to translate theory into professional practice. This partnership create mutual value. Our students will
Stick around after the break. We bring you the latest in economic news. Mornings just got better, Namibia. From the latest headlines to the hottest trends, we're bringing you the conversations that matter.
That's right. Bright minds, bold opinions, and a touch of morning magic. This is your daily dose of energy.
So grab a cup and join in on the conversation every weekday morning at 8 o'clock with Smell the Coffee, hosted by Diana Master and Aina Raisa Quayo. Headlining our economic news, Alpha Namibia Industries Renewable Power Limited, or ANREP, has reported a wider loss of 52.2 million Namibian dollars for the year ended February 2026, compared to a loss of 39.8 million Namibian dollars the previous year. The Namibia Securities Exchange listed renewable energy company says the loss was mainly due to a 40.2 million Namibian dollar non-cash impairment on its newly completed Kan solar plant near Usakos. Despite the loss, ANREP says the 25-megawatt solar plant helped turn its operating cash flow positive for the first time, reaching 15.1 million Namibian dollars compared to a negative 38.1 million Namibian dollars the previous year. The company says the impairment was linked to revised expectations around carbon credit revenue and a clause in its power purchase agreement with NamPower, but does not reflect any operational problems with the solar plant. ANREP's revenue increased by 36% to 95.4 million Namibian dollars during the year, as the company moved from constructing renewable energy projects to operating them. The company's debt levels, however, increased, with its gearing ratio rising from 73% to 99%. ANREP says it remains within its lender requirements, and shareholders have backed a proposal to convert 173 million Namibian dollars in loans into equity, which would reduce pressure on its balance sheet. The company has also expanded into wind energy, acquiring a 45% stake in the Serum Luderance wind project through its subsidiary Zephyrus Energy. No dividend was declared for the year. And now let's take a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 21.97 against the British pound, 18.74 to the euro, 16.46 against the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 43 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. All commodities are up, with platinum taking the biggest jump of 3.01%, now trading at $1,640 US dollars and 94 cents per ounce. Stay with us. Right after this, we bring you the latest in international news. Tonight in international news, a man suspected of murdering his wife and 2 children in the UK has appeared in court in South Africa as their causes of death have been revealed. Police believe Ndodana Mkhanyisi Chuma bought a weapon in a township where he was arrested by South African officers. The bodies of Notabo Zandile Chuma, 42, and her daughters Natalie, 15, and 5-year-old Nala were found in a house in Great Denham, Bedfordshire, on the 6th of July. After the court appearance on Monday and following a post-mortem examination, their cause of death was listed as blunt force trauma. Ndodana Mkhanyisi Chuma, who also goes by the name Mark, appeared in front of a magistrate in Johannesburg on the charge of possessing an illegal firearm. As he stood in the dock, the 45-year-old looked incredibly distressed, with eyes that were bloodshot. Chuma's family, who said they would not be giving a statement to the media, were also present. Chuma has been charged in South Africa with illegal possession of a firearm, which carries a potential 15-year prison sentence for first-time offenders. The court will also consider whether he should be extradited to the UK. Britain and South Africa do have an extradition treaty, although suspects arrested in South Africa must still appear before local courts before they can be sent to another country. He was remanded in custody on the 12th of July while authorities establish whether he is in South Africa illegally. Following his court appearance, he remains in custody. Chuma was arrested in South Africa with support from Interpol last week. That brings us to the end of our international news segment. Now let's take a look at the weather predictions. Windhoek can expect clear conditions, maximum temperatures of 24 degrees Celsius, and the coldest will be 9 degrees Celsius. Over in Inanna is partly cloudy conditions and maximum temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius to be expected, and minimum temperatures of 11 degrees Celsius to be expected. Looking over at the coast in Walvis Bay, it's clear conditions, maximum temperatures of 22 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures of 12 degrees Celsius. In Ariamsvlei, it is going to be coldest at 10 degrees Celsius and hottest at 24 degrees Celsius. And now, here's the sports news with Ari Hohad.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with cycling news first. The Tour de France continuing in France, and it was high temperatures close to 40 degrees, so a shortened stage 9. The winner there was Mathieu van der Poel. He's from the Netherlands, and it was his third career victory in the Tour de France, and his win was in a sprint finish to the end in stage 9. It's the Tour leader at the moment. It is Tadej Pogačar that was 6 seconds behind the winner. He was in the peloton, but still safely in front. Is it Tadej Pogačar? Is also defending champion, winning last year the Tour de France. At the moment, it is Tadej Pogačar with a combined time of 32 hours, 17 minutes and 45 seconds, and he's 2 minutes and 42 seconds ahead of second place at the moment, Jonas Vingegaard of Denmark. And in the third position from Mexico is Isaac de Toro. He's 3 minutes and 27 seconds behind the leader at the moment. Moving on to rugby news, and it is the Springbok rugby team, the men's team, the Springboks, that will play Wales this coming Saturday in Durban. It's the 45th time the two nations will meet, and South Africa won 36 games previously, Wales 7, and there was 1 draw. The most recent game was last year, November in 2025. The South Africans, the Springboks, winning that game by 73 points to 0. It was a record score then. And it is 4 debutants that will play for the Springboks this coming weekend. It will be Carlos Sadi, also Ruben van Heerden, and also Vusi Moyo. He's just 20 years old. He will be the fly-off for the Springboks, and then also Jaco Williams. He will play on the wing. Closing off with tennis news, and that is the world rankings, the WTA Women's World Rankings that's out. That's after the completion of Wimbledon the past weekend, and the women's winner, Linda Noskova, she gained places into the top 10 of the world rankings for the first time. She's up to number 7 now in the world. She was number 12 before the start of Wimbledon. It is last year's winner, Iga Swiatek, that dropped 5 positions. She was number 3 when the tournament started, but fell out early in the tournament, and she's up to number 8 in the world rankings. Still number 1 on the women's world rankings is Aryna Sabalenka, and number 2 ranked at the world rankings at the moment is Elena Rybakina. That's sports news, international sports news for today. I hope you have a great sport day. We'll talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.